I was talking about earlier my laugh on this show, Chris. Oh, wait, listen. Gosh.
Cold
Jumping
open.
ahead. Wow, that's a really cold. That's harsh. Icy.
Ice, ice, baby. You're listening to episode 42 of Time to Lead and Hear Song with John and Phil and special guests, Dr. Chris, Dr. E, Dr. Chris E. Doctor, can't you see I'm burning?
No, we have a special guest tonight on episode, 42? God. Chris E. We usually don't use people's full names in case they're, but maybe you don't mind that. I used to call you Eric Christensen, Twinkle Toes, but
Twinkle Toes, yeah.
But
What's
anyway.
the origin of that, Phil? Twinkle
I
toes.
just
Did they literally twinkle?
Well, I never actually have seen his toes, but he's
good.
such a good pianist, keyboardist, that I figured he could play the keyboards with his feet or toes. I don't know, and I think they would twinkle. Yeah, well, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Doctor?
I am a doctor of technology, I guess. Music technology.
Sure.
Now, I teach music tech classes and music theory classes at a small college somewhere out west. How anonymous am I supposed to be?
Oh, no, it's up to you.
That's up to you.
No, I just don't want you to feel like, well, we've had lawyers on the show, and we've had...
None that aren't related to me.
or professors.
It's pretty inside-ish, so... You know.
Yeah. Well, we do have a listener in the Philippines that I haven't been able to tag down yet, but that's fine. Whoever you
So
are.
it's kind of cult.
It is a
podcasting
cult.
It might be, a Filipino? Is that what you say? I don't know. Cult.
Filipino?
Yeah. Filipino. Oh, that's offensive.
Is it? I don't know.
Probably.
Speaking of offensive, we've been running through some Warner Brothers cartoons.
Oh.
And just, it's like, and taking odds. It's like, can they get through this 7 minutes without some sort of sexist and or racist joke?
You've just been focusing on Speedy Gonzalez, I think.
No, I really can't stand Speedy because that's just too overt. But there's always something. There's just one little... there's one little thing.
I never.
We'll almost get all the way through, and then there'll be a caricature or something sexist.
Well, I guess when you look back at things, I guess Pepe Le Pew was probably problematic.
Yeah, a little
French
bit.
Sexual harasser. Yeah.
He's a little rapey.
He's really rapey. Yeah.
But he had that accent, so I guess it made it all right at the time. I don't know. It was a different time. He wasn't like...
we mentioned the whole Marie Chevalier, thank goodness for little girls, kind of stuff. I mean, it's in that good-natured fun.
I never knew how that made it through. That was very odd. Even when I was a kid watching that, I was like, this doesn't seem right.
No, I think the production code kind of had a carve out for dirty old man stuff. Yeah.
It's no M or something or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, God. If
that
it was
the
a
point.
musical, M would be totally cool. Yeah.
M. Well, and that gets to another thing. I mean, Chris, you've done a lot more than just, teach music tech. You've done, composing and decomposing, and you're like a MIDI expert guy. And what else? What are some other things? People don't like to talk about themselves usually. No, that's not true. Some people love to talk about themselves. I've been doing it for 42 episodes. But what are some other things? I know you. Let's see what. We do some editing later too, so don't worry.
Yeah, okay, I was wondering if
About
you were
half
stalling.
of what we do will be cut, I think.
But we say we're going to edit something out, then we don't. But whatever.
Oh, here's something that people find tedious. I'm a pretty avid runner now.
Oh, I've noticed
So
that.
I can tell you all about the races that got canceled this year.
No, yeah, the COVID 3K. Well, I was when they canceled Grandma's up here. I was like, oh man, this is getting real now. But because they've never canceled that, even in snow or whatever.
Yeah, and we're still sort of waffling on. We're definitely online this summer, and I don't know, maybe part of the fall. And I'm just trying to figure out, how do you do a music program without ensembles or
music and
being in
anything
the
with
same
labs or anything like that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we've had a couple other instructors on here. They were both Knowleses, but talking about that too. Maybe they have some tips for you. I don't know. But yeah, but like Bruce was on a couple times ago, and how do you do orchestra, online? But
Very badly. Yeah.
my daughter's in orchestra. Adeline is in orchestra, and they have their lessons that they need to go through, and they record them and submit them, which they kind of were doing before anyway. But you can't like all get together and hear what it sounds like. So she's playing the part, and it's like, this doesn't sound right. But it's like, well, I'm like, I think it works if it's with the other stuff, but right, I don't know.
You can fix it in the mix.
I think when everything's added together, it makes sense, but maybe. I don't know. Well, Chris went to, he's from Rapid City. He's another Rapidian. We've had a few of those on, and Chris was from, are you from Rapid City originally?
Yeah.
Born and bred?
I was born there. Yep.
Yeah.
We left for a while, but came back.
Well, usually when people leave, they don't go back. I don't know. You went back. Where do you live now? Do you want to say? It's like Cheyenne or something, isn't it?
No, it's near Sheridan.
Sheridan. Oh, I get the Wyoming cities mixed up. They're all
Up
the
north.
same. Oh, you're north Wyoming.
Yeah, we're close to the Montana border.
Well, how did you end up there? Was it Amy's fault?
Essentially. So she got
biologist.
the first post-graduate school gig, and unfortunately that was in Gillette, but that is the sister campus to the much better campus, which is in the Bighorn Mountains. So
Ooh.
she got transferred over, and they asked me to teach a class called Computers and Music.
Uh-huh. Which is right up
And-
your alley.
The former person who taught this, it was essentially just a MIDI troubleshooting class back then.
Sure.
That's what I heard anyway, that they spent more time just like trying to get stuff to work. They had this lab full of mismatched Macintoshes and some keyboards, and it was quite a place to start. And but I'm grateful for the opportunity, because I essentially got to design my own program, and it blew up right away. I mean, the as far, not literally,
The old Max blew up.
we tripled our enrollment and our credentials awarded, and it's been popular ever since, because you don't necessarily have to spend, and I know this annoys some musicians, but it's like, hey, you can start making music without ever having a lesson.
No, it's totally true. Yeah. I don't know actually how I get gigs, to be honest. It's kind of a mystery, but somehow they still buy it.
Oh, people like to see real instruments still.
Well, they could just hire extras to pose with the instruments and play tracks. Yeah.
You can tell.
I'm just joshing you. No, seriously though, Chris, that was a very good timing, actually, with the way things were going.
But I find that the more serious ones who do come here kind of get sucked into other elements of traditional music programs. There's some that just want to come and just do their own thing, and I'm not sure why they're there. Well, they're kind of stuck with their Fruity Loops and just making beats and all that stuff. But the curious ones, start to branch out, maybe take a theory course, start taking lessons on a real instrument.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
No, and also you're also a like myself, an alumni of the University of Wyoming.
The prestigious University of Wyoming.
It just gets more so every day.
Yeah, I'm kind of infuriated a little bit. Maybe I shouldn't complain about UW on your podcast. But, the thing was they got rid of my degree, which was a composition degree. That was their first sin. And now they have, stripped, at least out of the Bachelor of Arts, the fourth semester of theory, which I find kind of wild. And then they got rid of a bunch of the upper class theory courses, like Foreman analysis.
What?
And
that was a staple.
The arranging class. Remember that, John?
Oh, God, yes.
They have upper level stuff, and but they're only going to offer it based on, who I guess is short on load and their area of expertise. So they'll all be seminar in, whatever I know.
Oh,
right?
That's so half-assed. Yeah.
It really is. And supposedly this was done, get this, from feedback from students.
Wow.
They're letting the students dictate, the curriculum.
So is this a budget kind of a thing, or are they focusing on other things instead? I don't keep up with that department at all, obviously.
It might be. I'm not really sure. I know the university as a whole has suffered some crunches in the last few years, so it could be budget related.
Yeah.
I'll probably get hit even harder next year.
Oh, and get this. Yeah. They started a certificate in music technology. And we were zooming and to do an articulation meeting, and I just couldn't help myself. I'm like, "Hey guys, I want to be the first to welcome you to the 21st century." And I don't think the chair got it.
Ouch.
Hey, John, do you remember the Ted Lapina seminar on Richard Strauss?
Oh, yeah. I rather enjoyed that, actually.
That was fun. And when you presented Strauss's greatest hit.
Yep. That was one of the high points.
And nobody said anything.
Yeah, talk about not getting the joke. Whew.
Were you in a class together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a pretty small place.
Well, right. I didn't know you were there at the same. I don't know. I didn't know you were there at the same time, I guess.
Yeah, we overlapped. I think. Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah, we worked in the recording studio together.
Well, yes.
Playing Crystal
days.
Quest.
Playing what? Salad Quest?
Crystal Quest.
Oh.
Keep up, Phil. Come on.
Oh, Crystal Quest.
You remember that game?
Remember
right?
that? When you go out that little exit and it would go, oh.
Right. No, printing my papers on the image writer printer. And
oh, yeah.
Former classmate of ours, David W. Remember him?
Yes, I do. I thought it was David Q.
Yeah, he was kind of good. AKA Q. I have been in touch with him, and he posted a video when Wynton Marsalis visited the campus and did the master class.
Oh, yeah.
And he posted a video. Somebody was in the audience with a camcorder or something. And
Oh, really?
and he had a copy of it, and he sent me the whole thing. It was quite the trip.
Well, we talked about that on a previous episode.
Yeah, that was actually was just a couple weeks ago, and it was fascinating to watch that whole thing. And
Did you remember any of it?
yeah, I definitely do. Yeah.
It was memorable. Well, sometimes when you watch stuff from like 100 years ago, you're like, I don't remember being there, but
Oh,
maybe
that was a big deal.
No,
for
I think
our
that would be, sure.
group. I hope that wasn't the highlight. I mean, David, I've noticed, has gone on to bigger and better things, of course, but that's takes me back. So
Is he a professional, or does he teach somewhere? Or?
I know he went through. I think he's got his doctorate. I'm a little confused on whether I think he freelances and does consulting and other kinds of hodgepodge stuff, but he's definitely active.
He sells pot.
He has a Wynton Marsalis tribute band.
He should.
What would that be called?
Chicken Marsalis.
Did I mention that story when we talked about Wynton,
yeah.
Chicken Marsalis? Yeah. I think I did recycle that one. Yeah.
Well, okay, call it that.
And the guy who coined that nickname is a truck driver today as profession. Galen, remember him?
Galen Q.
Yeah, sure.
Does that help?
Galen Q. Yeah,
What do
he
you
is an
play?
over-the-road truck. He was a horn player. He was one of Dave's friends.
It's familiar, but I can't picture him.
I think he's originally a Louisiana guy.
Don't look at me. I don't know any of these people. You're listening to Who Are They Now? An exciting romp through history of the University of Wyoming in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Remember him?
I
He had
remember
glasses.
him. Yep.
Yeah, that was him. He drives an 18-wheeler around the country, and lately for like big roadshow pop concert acts, so at least until recently.
Well, I was going to say lately.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, interesting where people end up for sure. So
I wonder what happened to Joe. Do you remember Joe?
Joe, you all suck.
Yeah.
I had to scratch my head for a second on that.
He had a catchphrase.
Did he literally say you all suck?
I don't think so. I think that was some fantasy that or a cartoon I drew or something. I remember drawing a cartoon of him assaulting his conductor.
Yeah, he was angry. I know that.
Oh,
He was big, you know.
angry young man.
Yeah, what he was. I want to say, was he a fellow euphonium player?
Oh, they're all angry.
I might be conflating a couple of people, but
Maybe. I'm thinking the guy who he conducted a couple things, and he had blonde hair.
no. Okay, this is a different person. Yeah.
Okay, yes, but who was You All Suck?
Boy, that showed him. Yeah. God.
Well,
No.
I also
terrible.
remember, and I can't remember by name, but there was a composer,
Yeah.
a student, who wrote music while he watched television.
Oh, I'm drawing a blank on that.
Oh, okay, all right.
like Seinfeld.
It sounds great though. I wish I remembered it. Seinfeld.
Yeah, there were some interesting composers.
What's everybody drinking tonight? Let's get that out of
Oh.
the way. That's one of our routines. Phil, go.
Well, I just finished a Cuba Libre. I want to
What
experiment
kind of rum?
with. I want to. Gosh darn it! I don't remember. Mount something.
Mount Gay.
Yes, I should have remembered that. It's nice. I want to experiment with Dr. Pepper and call it Dr. Libre, but maybe we could have Dr. Libre in honor of
I've never found Dr.
our
Pepper
Dr. guest.
mix well with anything. But
No, I don't think it can.
you can keep trying if you want, though. It's all.
No, we'll just have it in honor of our doctor guest. But I didn't try that today. I was scared. So, but now I'm just got the Jim Beam Black going. Now, Chris, you used to be, and I think you and I were kind of getting into cocktail. So you lived in Minneapolis for a while too, or the Twin Cities area for a while. And I think you and I were getting into cocktails kind of about the same time.
Yeah, definitely. I remember that.
I think you still are into them, but what are you drinking?
Well, it's 4:30, so if I start now...
Oh, it's fine.
Got to keep up.
What, do you have a marathon tomorrow?
Is it safe?
Marathon?
Sorry, I've been editing the last episode where we talk about that movie. So.
Well, yeah, because my home dental issues. I put my own filling in. There you go. No, so
I'm having a cup of hot steaming piss.
Woohoo! Well, when you're in Wyoming and maybe they don't have water up there, you got to reclaim your bodily fluids. Well, what are you drinking, John?
Balcones Texas single malt whiskey.
Wrong. John's drinking malt liquor.
Is that balcony in Italian?
I'm gonna cut that joke out for the third time.
Oh, sometimes I laugh like that old 70s cartoon character, Chris. Do you know who that was? The little dog?
The asthmatic kind of laugh. Yeah.
I've been,
yeah.
When I do the edits.
Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah. When I do the edits, I get so upset. I'm not upset at myself, but I'm just like, oh my God, I sound like that stupid dog.
Well, the narrator will tell us, I'm sure. Right?
Oh, maybe.
He's been slacking off lately.
Hey, the dog's name was Muttley.
No, that's a good whiskey, though. Yeah, Phil, you tried it when you were visiting.
I did.
My backyard. Yeah.
On your balcony. Now, what was the crystal game you thought you were talking about? Because
Crystal Quest.
I do think I played that. That sounds familiar. But at first I was thinking Crystal Caverns. That was a favorite in the old
in the
days.
Black Hills?
No. No, maybe I'm wrong.
You're thinking of a tourist attraction in
No, there
Black Hills,
was a little game, an old school
No, there was an arcade game I think called
Arcade Game. Okay, well, now you had me thinking that I was wrong. Memory is a bitch.
Shufflepuck was on there too.
Oh, the classic.
And Risk.
Oh, Risk.
I wasted so many hours playing Risk. Mac Risk, sorry. Yeah.
When I look back at how many
Because everything had to be called Mac something or other.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't believe how much time I spent on that, considering how rudimentary it was. But
And strangely, it was still more fun than the real version.
Yeah. Hey, do you remember we had to make the little cassettes?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
recitals?
With the little labels stuck on them, and I've still got a couple of those in a box somewhere.
you did a mixtape?
No, we'd make copies of concert recordings for people.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't
back
just
to the Wyoming recording studio boondoggle.
It wasn't just Lynn Hamblin and the
Lynn Hamblin, he's still kicking.
Lynn E. Hamblin Jr.
Yeah,
Lynn
he's still
H.
in Laramie.
He lives in a church.
Yeah,
What?
He does. A former church.
Oh, I should have said former church.
He's a priest.
Somehow that makes sense. No,
A former
no.
church
holy,
now full of odds and ends.
Yeah, I think it's, if nothing else, even worse than it was when I last saw him. He's electronic hoarder syndrome.
Do you suffer from EHS? If you or a loved one suffers from electronic hoarder syndrome, there's hope. The Lynn Hamblin Church of Electronic Orders will come to your house and remove all your unused electronic equipment. Old stereos, speakers, turntables, all are welcome. They don't even need to work. The Reverend Lynn Hamblin will get them all operational again. Someday, they will be placed in a designated stack of honor and will be moved every 7 to 10 years. The Lynn Hamblin Church of Electronic Orders. There's hope.
Oh, definitely. I remember the first time I went through, I lived with you guys for a while there in Laramie, and it's not nowhere near Gillette, Wyoming. No, Laramie, I'm sorry. But yeah, it was kind of like that because there was little pathways to go through in the audio equipment and stacks of weird things. I don't know, that made noise, I guess, or didn't work, and he was going to fix them. I don't know what the deal was. Chris was talking about some of the old video games too. The old arcade games. We have talked about this before on a previous episode, or maybe more than one. But Chris actually remembers the names of these places, John. Like
enchiladas.
Well, I don't know if he knows that one.
No, Bruce remember that one.
No, the other ones we talked about that
like Long's Pit Stop.
Long's Pit Stop.
Yeah, I couldn't remember those names. What was the other one?
That was up on East North Street, I think. Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, the Token Wars we talked about. For a while there, they were competing with each other, I guess.
Yeah, it was great.
Do
you remember that one that was in the Prairie Market complex?
Oh, Times Square?
Yeah, and they had
Time Square.
Times Squared.
And it had a big clock that didn't work half the time.
Yeah.
And they had a bunch of sit-down tables.
I don't know if wait. It's
now,
okay.
sit down. Now, do you mean the cocktail version?
Cocktail styles.
Okay.
Was that by the
like Godfathers or something?
Yeah.
Was that Godfathers?
No, I remember that one.
There was a Godfathers. There was also a place there that sold Laserdisc players and things like that.
Yeah. I remember going in there and shopping
CED,
for those, which I was not going to buy one, obviously. But
Yeah.
I remember the guy I said, so what's the difference between this Laserdisc and they were hawking the RCA Select Division? Yeah. And he goes, yeah, you want your RCA one because those Laserdiscs, they have a bunch of mirrors in them and they get all out of whack.
Wow, what a crock.
I think it also gives you COVID, like the 5G antennas.
Those CED machines are actually fascinating, though. I mean, they sucked, but the way they had that analog
that
needle
caddy.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a really good old tech YouTuber who kind of goes into those things, and he dismantled one of them and kind of shows you how they work and stuff. It's pretty amazing engineering in a weird way. But, it sucked. Fortunately, that's one of the few failed formats I did not buy into.
Well, I didn't get over to that arcade as often, Prairie Island or whatever it was called. But
3 Mile Island.
Oh, you know what else was over there? There was an army recruiter. I got.
Is that where Sergeant Range used to hang
Range.
out? We haven't talked about Sergeant Range.
Oh my God, he was notorious. Chris, did you ever deal with Sergeant Range?
I did not.
No. So
I did. I remember that recruiting area because one of my classmates gave them my name, of course.
No, because you have to
And
give
it
names.
was
Formers.
It was Navy, and I went in there and I'm like, well, I want to be a musician, and he goes, how long
Navy
you been
band.
playing? And I'm like, oh, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And he goes, well, that's not very long. And that kind of got me out of it. I'm like, okay, sorry.
He didn't try to get you in the Navy band? Do they have an?
I remember he called up someone in Chicago or somewhere, and he gave me a little interview over the phone. They didn't listen to me play.
Yeah, I don't think they cared. They just want the bodies. No, Sergeant Range was kind of notorious, and I think I heard later he was actually reassigned or something because he was a little too
zealous. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I got in there. Somehow. I guess I was a good shot or something. I don't know. And
how would he know that, Phil?
I don't know. But
I don't remember you having a reputation at Central High School as being a good shot.
No, no, but
Sorry,
that wasn't
your story.
I didn't have a T-shirt that said, "Hey, I'm a good shot." So I went in there, and he was trying to get me to be a sniper. Yeah, I was like, that would have been a different life path.
I think my brother Rob had run-ins with him too. So I think my dad used to give him shit about that, like, Sergeant Range called Rob.
Oh, he would just call and
harass
call
people.
Yeah, finally I went in, and I don't know why I went in, but then he was kind of like, well, he was just kind of trying to fish to see things that you like that he could apply, and somehow we got into, do you want to jump out of a plane? You could be a paratrooper or something. I said, well, yeah, I don't want to. I thought about jumping out of a plane.
It doesn't sound fun.
Do you go, would you like to suck a golf ball through a garden hose?
What would that apply?
The
Which rank would that apply to? Oh, Sergeant Range. I remember also in high school, the graduation. Chris was a year ahead of us, but I remember this. I don't remember the guy's name, but he got some big scholarship. He was in all the people that got scholarships that applied themselves better than I did. Let's see. He was like, I think he got in the Coast Guard or something like that. I don't know for sure, but several units were trying to recruit him, and that's the one he went with. But I don't know whatever happened to that guy. I don't even know his last initial. I don't know whatever happened to these people. Some of the people I did reconnect with on Facebook, I've had to block, but it seems like there's an issue where, and I don't know if I've talked about this on here before, but people that I grew up with that never visited other places, I don't know. I've had issues with, but are you in contact with a lot of people you went to high school with, Chris, on Facebook?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, yeah, several, but like you said, I've hidden select individuals.
I've had to outright block some.
Yeah, idiotic musings.
No, musings, that's the way to put it. I have a different threshold. It's like if
that's
they say
a very
something,
polite way of putting it.
if they say something racist or whatever, then I block them. But I don't know. I've just gotten less patient with Facebook, especially now. Everybody's getting even further and further divided. It's like between the masks and the have masks and the not masks and the. What's it like in Wyoming right now with? Let's see, you're over there, and I already forgot.
We have that same thing going on locally. I mean, they just did a variance where some of the bars and eateries could open again, and you've got the have masks and the have not masks, and they're making this ridiculous political thing of it.
Yeah. Ugh. Why does that have to be an issue? At any time that they've shown up on Facebook, it seems to be like, well, if you're afraid to go there, don't go there. But or if you're afraid to, like with the social distancing things, they opened up some gardening centers out here, and people were not social distancing at all, and it's like one of the major ones, Gertens or whatever. It's a huge place, and it gets really busy and crowded. And somebody was upset that people weren't social distancing, so Then all of a sudden the Facebook gardening channel that I'm on, or not channel, group, becomes this mask thing. It's like, well, if you're afraid to go, don't go. It's like, that's not the point. You're wearing a mask so you don't cough on somebody else or whatever. Your particulates. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I kind of appreciate the places that are limiting numbers of people in there, especially. I think that's
Gertens would be difficult.
Well, I don't know. It's
because most of it's outdoors, but still. So are they doing restrictions as far as reopening over there, Chris? It's like 6 feet away or something like that? Or only every fourth seat you can sit at the bar? Or?
You know, the pictures I've seen, it doesn't look like they're doing that. And I understand our governor was making some statement today. I hadn't heard what it was, but so if it's cramped, and I know it's a small venue or our post office, or we have a little tiny grocery here, you know, I'll put the mask on. And I've had like clerks thank me for wearing it. You know, I'm kind of cool with it because I don't have to like do that pained fake smile.
It's true. They can't see your face.
All you do is you can squint your eyes a little and it looks like you're smiling. You could be like just scowling and they wouldn't know the difference.
See, I'm the other kind of person that's like, when I first was wearing the mask, I was like, they can't see my smile. I like to smile at people, Chris.
I know they miss it.
Well, they have plexiglass and stuff now here too at the grocery store.
Yeah, everybody's got them. Got the barriers.
They're protecting particulates. You got to be particular about your particulates.
Droplets.
What were your favorite old video games, Chris? In the old days, the glory days of the the Token Wars.
Yeah, I played a lot of Popeye.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
that?
Which was kind of really had a lot of the same mechanics as Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
If
definitely.
I remember correctly.
And
That was a good one though. Yeah.
And I liked Kangaroo too, but I didn't really like Donkey Kong, even though those two are very derivative of that.
Oh, interesting.
And I like that original Mario Brothers,
Yeah,
which again was another level thing.
Yeah, I remember playing that a lot. I think I ran into you at one of those old arcades once, but I think that one that was on the second floor by the now abandoned Taco John's. I don't know what that was called.
You mean over on West Main?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Maybe it wasn't you, but I seem like you were playing that game that had a drain or something. I mixed it up.
Bubbles.
Bubbles. Did you play that one?
Yeah, I like that one.
Maybe this isn't a false memory. It's hard to tell. Bubbles, yeah. Did that have a witch?
Yeah, this little witch would go around the drain. You'd suck her up and make your bubble bigger.
Don't try that at home.
Yeah, and it was I think that's the only place that was at West Main Arcade.
I think you're right.
They also had the Star Trek simulator.
Oh, man.
Do you remember that?
Oh, is that the vector graphics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
He was talking through a mask.
I really enjoyed that one.
I'm trying to remember. We already talked about that, but Spy Hunter, that was kind of fun.
I loved Spy Hunter, yeah. I wasn't good at it, but I loved it.
No, that was the thing. A lot of those games, like Popeye, I remember, I don't know. I guess I got kind of better at it over time, but I don't remember which level I got to or whatever, but there were people I would just watch play. That was before Twix or whatever that channel is. Twitch. Where you just sit and
Twix,
watch.
the candy bar.
Yeah, what was your favorite candy bar? No.
No.
Hey, did you guys ever play Elevator Action?
Oh, yeah.
That's one of my favorites. Yeah.
I think I played that. I think I played that one more than others. That was that pit stop place. I remember playing that one. What's that?
No, those are the dogs.
What kind of dogs do you have? You have two Shibus?
Two
No?
Shiba Inus and a Shikoku, which is
He's turning Japanese.
yes,
I really think so.
which is from the Shikoku Islands. Pretty rare, but same sort of family of Japanese Spitz.
So you have 3 dogs?
Yep.
It's a 3-dog night. Oh,
Yep.
I don't remember any of their songs offhand. What was the name of that? So you've had some interesting people show up out there in your college land, university land. Is it a university or college or what?
It's a college, 2-year college.
College. What was the theremin lady?
That's Dorrit Chrysler. She is one of the leading thereministas of that world.
What was that like?
That was great. I just
How did
I
this
saw
even
her-
happen?
I saw her on YouTube once, and I kind of researched her, and I saw that she has a theremin school she does in Paris and in New York. She's Austrian, but she lives in New York.
Yeah.
Goes back and forth. And I just inquired at her website, if she'd be interested in coming out and working with some of our students, and
What the hell?
it happened. And she did a concert, and
Wow.
my music tech ensemble played with her, and I took her around to a couple high schools, and it was a great residency. It was really cool.
Yeah, that was, I don't know. That seemed really, really, really cool. Kind of, I wonder why I guess the same idea for Wynton Marsalis. I thought, Wyoming, okay. But I don't know.
Well, she had done a residency at, I want to say, CU Denver. And so I knew she occasionally got out here, but,
Okay. She likes the mountains.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing as Austria, maybe, but I don't know. But whatever. What's the name? What's the name of your ensemble? Meet? What's that stand for?
Music ensemble of audio technology.
Wow. Well, you can plug you're on SoundCloud. I know. Are you in other places?
Yeah, there's some stuff on YouTube and Orpheum, the less known SoundCloud.
Oh, I had never heard of that one.
Yeah.
That's funny. Apparently.
And I've got some stuff too on, what's the other one? There's so many rappers on it. I don't usually give that out, but I can't think what it's called, like Mac Daddy or something.
You're
P
on Tidal?
Daddy.
Yeah.
P Daddy.
Audio Mac, that's it.
Janky.
Yeah, so Meat, of course, got stymied by this whole COVID stuff. And we were supposed to have a concert, I think it was May 5th or something. But I asked them if they wanted to do something like these virtual groups are doing, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
sure.
Everyone felt like, it's the live experience as far as that ensemble goes, because we have a lot of multimedia and, lighting, and
That would be hard to.
I was like, fine, I really don't want to edit one of those together. Sounds like a nightmare.
Oh my God. That reminds me a little bit. I was all geared up to see Kraftwerk in June here. They were coming.
Oh, really?
Of course.
Wow, they're still kicking, huh?
Well, no,
Some
one of
of
them
them.
isn't. One of them just died, one of the co-founders. Oh, I can't remember his name, but
Oh, that's right.
Klaus something. But what was his name? Shoot. I think he did the voice of that dog in the 70s in Hanna-Barbera. No, I'm mixing up things. Anyway, so that isn't going to happen now. I was like, oh, my oldest daughter is into electronic music and composing and that kind of thing. And maybe I'll ship her up your way someday. But anyway, I was like going to make her go see Kraftwerk. That was kind of oh well.
We also missed the chance to go see Roger Waters.
Yeah, he was coming.
I know
out
you
here.
were kind of jonesing to do that.
Well, he can get a little. What's the word? Pendactic? That's not the right word, is it?
Pedantic.
I don't know. Dramatic.
All the above. Yeah.
But it would have been kind of fun. But the tickets were like, I don't know. The nosebleed seats
More
were
than
like,
$5.
right. I remember getting free tickets to go to First Avenue when I worked at Brugger's, but it wasn't Pink Floyd or Roger Waters. I don't know. Fine.
Yeah, this is gonna kind of hamper my brother-in-law's quest to see all the '80s has-beens in person before they're dead.
Oh, Matt P.
Yeah, I forgot to ask him when he was on, but he saw one of these acts last year or the year before, and it was one of these situations where they had like 5 or 6 different '80s like one-hit wonder groups or
yeah,
artists.
sure.
And they all just did like 2 songs each or something, and I just thought that was the best idea because that's really what you want. You just okay. Just do a couple, and then you're out of there. Get them out. Next one. Yeah.
It's like,
you don't want to sit through an entire show.
Flock of Seagulls.
Doing whatever crap they're trying to do in their old age now. It's like very, very practical.
And then they always want to trot out the new stuff. Like Flock of Seagulls. I'm sure they have a new album somewhere.
It is. Yeah, that was one of the things. He got us to go see Duran Duran. They had to work in a few of their new songs, and it's just shit. Like, okay, can I skip? Where's the skip button?
I don't know if I've actually would have gone to see Roger Waters. There's a few concerts that I've missed that I wish I wouldn't have, like when Devo came to the Minnesota Zoo, and I didn't have enough money or something, or thought, but why didn't I put that on a credit
Devo
card? Devo
would have been cool. I would have. One of the things I really think I should do is the next time McCartney is on tour, I should go see him when he's here. I mean, he's been here multiple times, and I've just been too much of a cheapskate to go. But if he makes it back here again, I should really just suck it up.
Well, Chris, you travel quite a bit. You get to see like Broadway and stuff like that. Or do you get to see some cool concerts? I don't know.
Well, we saw Duran.
Oh, there. I shouldn't shut on him too much. It wasn't that bad, actually.
I'm sure it was fun.
They had some pros help, kind of backing them up, and
yeah.
They didn't sound bad, actually. Actually, they were pretty good. Just a little too much.
It went a little too long.
It went about 20% longer than it should have been. I think.
They could have been paired with Whitesnake or something. I don't know what.
Well, not Whitesnake. Mixing it up there. They're not a hair band.
Yeah, we and then let's see, we saw Santana, the Hollywood Bowl recently.
Oh, wow.
So that was pretty fun. Except the Doobie Brothers opened, and that was 20% too long.
I've seen the Doobie Brothers like at least 3 times in my life, which
it was 420.
I'm not proud of. And none of them had Michael McDonald.
Oh, that reminds me.
That's the tragedy of it.
How can you have the Doobie Brothers without?
No, you should probably without.
Do you remember that SCTV skit of Michael McDonald with it was really funny. He was like running around to different recording sessions, and he'd do one line, then drive his car to go to another place and do a line.
I don't think that's much of an exaggeration at a certain time, though. There's a time period in probably LA studio pop recording where he was in almost everything.
Yeah.
He would just go, and then go to the next one, collect his money and go. I was on a gig recently, and one of the guys I play with was talking about all these stories about I want to say it's Steve Gadd, the drummer, who basically made millions and millions of dollars doing session work, and just blew it all on coke in 1 year.
Oh, in 1 year.
But supposedly the only reason he was able to keep up his schedule was because he was on coke.
It's a vicious
Coca-Cola.
cycle.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. Those stories are fun.
Who else has showed up over there? Who else have you worked with? I don't know. Nobody.
What, in Sheridan?
Nobody.
Oh, we get guest artists of varying fame. No one huge that you'd probably know of.
Well, I didn't know the theremin lady either, but that was really cool.
So I have a quick follow up. So Chris is probably remembers a certain local musical thing called Trial at Tobray.
Oh yes.
And there was this certain demo tape that my
is
dad
that the
had for a while.
October?
And that's the 14th of October song.
I love that song.
And unfortunately, nobody in my family seems to have kept a copy of it because it was so funny.
I think it's in your crawl space.
Oh, it probably is. But
No, we sing every October.
nobody seems to want. Yeah, the 14th of October really makes me high was the lyric. And
The world turned
the other
upside
song
down.
that we always joke is the supplies. I'm in charge of supplies.
That was a good one. Chris, you didn't help
I helped
do any MIDI stuff with that, did you?
No.
Were you
but
involved with that?
I did score preparation for those two. And yeah.
Some arranging?
No, I didn't do the arranging. They gave me their manuscript and I put it into Finale.
I don't know. Every October I sing that song. In 14th of October in the month of May is the way I sing it, but whatever.
It's on the 14th of October, the world turned upside down. And that's all I remember.
And it makes you high.
It's a John Denver reference or something. Was it like a historical thing or something? Was it like a period of time that they were depicting in South Dakota
It's almost like
history or
this
something?
thing that you'd see in a Christopher Guest movie or something like that.
Yeah, it had something to do with gopher feet. Do you remember that? There was a whole song about gophers. Yeah. And there
Block
were
that
these
one out, I
there
think.
were these two flim-flam con artists that came to this town. I don't remember the plot.
Either do I. Was there one?
And I
Scant
remember
as it was, yeah.
John's mom talking about the orchestration being so like real choppy that each instrument would start a line but never got to finish it.
It's
And
like
I don't
one of those
know who
dreams.
did the
It's clever.
orchestrations.
It's like one of those dreams.
They're being
those-
cheeky, yeah.
It's like one of those sex dreams where you just never get to actually have sex.
Do a line, yeah, of Coke. No,
Right.
I don't know why I'm talking about Coke.
Well, I don't know. You've been branching out a little bit. You
No, not really.
I guess you're sticking to whiskey, but that's fine.
Remember the title track? It was like, "There's a trial at town of Tobray. There's a trial in the town
Yeah,
today."
vaguely. I heard the thing like the demo like once, and I wasn't there for any of the performances. I just heard secondhand.
No, it was catchy. I'm
Yeah,
sure people
that's
listen to
one
some
way
of
to
my
put it.
demos and they're like, "What?"
They're catchy. They're like the disco clap.
Yeah, but my stuff is at least it's catchy.
Did we talk about the disco clap already?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Sorry, that was like 10 episodes ago.
What were some of your influences or favorite bands, Chris?
Too numerous.
Genesis. What?
Definitely not Genesis. No.
No.
I don't know. I think I was greatly influenced by 80s keyboardists, and every band had one.
Yeah.
I was just interested in getting my hands on the gear and making noise.
You're definitely
So
gear,
you could save
gear
up for a
person.
Yamaha DX7.
I never had a DX7. I remember the first time I played one, though. It was at Haggerty's Music Works in Bacon Park, and it was pretty stunning. I'd never heard.
Yeah, and they were really expensive.
They were. And we had one at the college for a number of years, and it was heavy.
Yeah, those old keyboards were.
It was made of, what do you call it? Metal.
Yeah, you could actually drop it. Crush your toes or something like that.
You never had a keytar, though, did you?
No. We do have
I don't know.
a keytar controller in Meat, but, that's for special occasions. No, my first keyboard was this little. It had a mini keyboard bed. It was a Casio. Oh shoot, I can't remember what it was called. It was used on like this famous reggae hit, and then I traded that in for a real keyboard at Schneider's Music. Remember Schneider's?
Oh, yeah, next to the Rapid Theater.
Yeah, and it was a Roland JX 3P. And that was really cool. And of course, now they make these obviously software emulations of that keyboard, and also like little boutique boxes. I don't know if you've seen those. Roland makes a whole line of these. They're sort of like recreations of their classic synths. They don't have a keyboard on them, but you just plug a controller into them.
What was that? I remember one time you came over to John's and you had some damn thing, and we recorded a few things on it. But it had a little. I think you could.
Was that the MT30 that?
I think it was.
I had one of those for a while. Yeah.
For Roger Wilco.
Yeah, to play a video game that used a outboard MIDI box to do the music because the Mac could not do it.
Yeah, I think I brought over the sound canvas, and
then we tried
did the Bob Hope thing.
we did a few versions of "Girl with Emphysema."
Oh yeah,
with your other friend. I can't remember her name. Singing background.
Classics. Oh, Karen. Yeah, thanks for the memories. You sang that.
Oh, yeah, we did a few different versions of that. Well, then another thing Chris did one.
That's not on your SoundCloud, right, Phil?
No, I don't know where that is.
I have it still.
I couldn't quite sing "Girl with Emphysema." There was this one line I couldn't get from the one part to the other part. And, Chris was like
really
putting the note in. Chris was like putting the note in there for me, and I still couldn't.
It has a weird progression. It definitely does. Just that one little part.
Well, that was the thing that Chris left overnight, I guess, too, and that's when you were messing around with it, and we came up.
That's
with...
when we did the Weeping Demon. Yeah.
Sure. And then another thing,
which is in one of our episodes. We actually posted it.
It's not all about that.
And then another thing you did with us was you did the music for. Oh no, it's so hot.
Oh, that's almost porn kind of.
I don't know if you ever hear the finished version? No, it was called
Lil Hunter's Fantasies.
Oh, yeah. No, I always called it It's So Hot.
Fantasies.
Oh, that was terrible. But the music was so good.
I think Rob is one of the people that says, "I'm here to check out your pipes."
Right. Hello, Girl Scouts. Hello, Boy Scouts. Yeah, it was terrible.
What was the music like? It was like
No, it was wonderful. We must
It's
have
hilarious,
that.
actually.
We
No,
must have that
have it.
somewhere. Maybe we'll just have that
We'll
as a
send it
song
to
on
you.
here. Oh, I love that. So and then that was kind of when HHK was sort of not doing anything really anymore ever again. But I remember thinking, gosh, if we would have had Chris on the other episodes, or on the episodes, God, the podcast. If we would have had Chris on the other recordings, my God, we would have been like taken up a notch there. And we wouldn't have we could re-release some of the stuff now. It all had recorded music already and whatever. John was very good about finding. He didn't get the rights for it, but he was very good about.
You mean I didn't get the rights for like the Star Wars soundtrack or whatever we used?
You were very good about finding music for those skits and stuff. It was always perfect.
No, it was fun.
well, there was that like Grimace music.
The easy listening
Yeah,
stuff.
the-
Phil found that stuff
Oh,
because he worked at Easy 101.
oh God. Well, the Grimace rap record was actually a snippet from a Devo album, of course, but
Grimace rap record. That's
You couldn't secure the rights
offensive.
for the loop for fuck
we
your
didn't
grandma.
try.
Yeah, that was the CD player I had at the time had that little repeat function that you could. The minimum setting would do like a few seconds, and it would just loop over and over again.
I remember using
Those
that.
were mean loops.
Oh, I was into sampling before I knew what it was. Oh, well. No, Smoke Your Grandma, we did. I don't know.
Which was one of the worst tracks from Magical Mystery Tour. That stupid instrumental that's on there.
I think that's one of my dad's favorite songs that we did, though. He loved that song.
Wasn't a waste.
He's like, you guys should just do music. It's like, well, this is the Beatles, but whatever.
I gotta go for a sec. I'll be right back.
Oh, yeah? Okay, I should too. Ooh, a weird big bird just flew by. I'll be back. So what are you drinking now, Chris?
I have a little Jack.
Like one of those little airline bottles?
Oh,
You mean Jack Daniels?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I haven't had that for a long time. I've been curious about it. Do you like it?
Yeah, it's all right.
Just regular Jack.
Yeah.
The black label.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, I have a question regarding HHK gear. So what was that reverb unit you had?
So there was no reverb unit. The reel-to-reel recorder we used had that setting built in. That was just a button.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, the
that's it.
reverb button.
Yeah, no, it had a reverb.
I remember even back
or
then.
it was called something else, but it either was just a feedback thing or something. It
Echo.
created reverb.
Interesting.
You just turn on the switch when you were recording, and it did it.
It really sounded
was
like a
called-
spring reverb.
Yeah, it might have been some. It seems like a strange thing to stick in a tape recorder, but
I'm glad
yeah,
we
that's
had
all
it.
it was, though. Yeah.
I remember trying to talk. I remember we were talking about it. Was like, oh, we got to make sure we don't overuse this. We probably did. We tried,
Quite a bit.
but we were all on coke, and reverb sounded really good back then. So what are you gonna do? So, Chris, do you want to plug any of your recordings or anything like that? You have stuff out there, not in meat, but your stuff. No, log rolling, they call it, I guess, John says, but no, that's not right. I don't know.
No,
terms.
that kind of is the term. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Oh, I don't know if I have anything out there right now, but I do have a new project coming up. I wrote a piece for Flute and Electronics, and it hopefully will get premiered this fall. And it's 5 movements, and this flute player has never done this before, and she's really excited. And it's kind of inspired by some Greek mythology stuff, and it's going to have visuals with it. And so, yeah, that's coming soon.
Cool. Well, what's the 3? I think you did a
Nice.
3-part thing recently, though. I'm sorry, I should have done more research for this, but
I did a piece for flute and harp that had like world music sort of overtones to it.
what was that called?
Chorus Mundi. 4 dances for flute and harp.
Okay, right. Yeah, that was cool.
And then also,
Was that
I'm kind of on this world music kick because I'm, into appropriation. Now, because I've been teaching a world music course, and
You're no Paul Simon.
I am very careful about that appropriation. I'm not trying to say that this is anything more than just, using some gestures. I'm not trying to say this is, I guess, culturally accurate or anything. It's like movie music.
Sure.
And so I did a 3-part piece for our dance troupe, or our dance department here. And that's called Postcards from the Silk Road. That's out there on YouTube.
Cool.
So, yeah.
I don't think I've heard that one. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah. I'll make sure you see it.
We'll post a link. Our listener will click on it. Listeners, sorry.
Is it available in the Philippines?
Probably. I've had a kind of weird day. I'm like really mellow now all of a sudden. I think I need to snort a few lines of Coke.
You went to actual work today, didn't you?
Yeah, I got approved to be on site a couple days a week. We had a big sunrise proposal for the getting back on campus, and I'm in operations. So I actually moved some furniture today, and I'm kind of tired. But I normally I would have student employees doing that, but they're not there, so I had to do it. But it was kind of weird. It's weird being on campus. It's
Yeah, I'm a little jealous.
yeah. The first day I was back, I was the only one wearing a mask. I was like, this is weird. But I figured if there's no one around you, I guess you don't need to. But the other thing too, I've been reading about. This is not something to end the episode on, but like the airflow stuff, the airflow with in buildings, even if they have people 6 feet apart. I've been looking at some studies where with the air conditioning or whatever can blow.
Is that like that article I sent you about all the the air handling stuff and filters and?
Oh yeah,
everything
well
else?
I've been
Or
reading
the
some other ones
humidity
too.
has to be a certain that thing about the virus propagating more in certain levels of humidity.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
People have gone on the cheap as far as building filtration and that sort of thing for many years. That's been the one thing they cut back on. But it's like, yeah, you can open a bar and people are 6 feet apart, but the fans are blowing all the shit around. So I don't know. I miss going to a bar every now and then and getting to meet some of the people, and there's always interesting people at a bar. But I'm not in any hurry. You can't. What were you saying? Like cut a hole in your mask to put the straw in or something? What? I don't know. Hey, what are you supposed to? I don't know. Anything else?
Don't you say, hey, to our fans out there, be sure to like and subscribe, and wherever you get your podcasts, and you can
sort of
contact
like
us.
That's a joke, but it's actually something we should tell people to do is to subscribe in iTunes and all that shit.
We're not very good at self-promoting, which I
No. I mean,
I don't know if Chris is either.
No. Well, I would like to encourage your listeners to try out Squarespace.
And Casper and Eero and whatever. What other podcast plug stuff that we're not going to plug?
Mint Mobile.
Oh, I haven't heard that one. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of starting to make a splash.
I think Squarespace sponsors every single podcast I listen to.
Yeah.
No, on Spotify, it's a Gimlet or something, or Gimlet, or
You shouldn't listen on Spotify, though.
what's it? Oh, yeah, no, wait, we never talked about cocktails. What are you? Do you still make cocktails, Chris? Martinis.
Martinis, pretty much.
Yeah.
If I have to, I did my experimenting with mixing, and they're all right. I just find myself going back to a good martini.
How do you make a martini? What's your way?
So I tried to do the Bond thing, where you have the 2 parts gin and then a little vodka, and then I will do Lillet when I remember to pick it up for the vermouth, and that makes a really good concoction.
Now, you're not talking about a Vesper, though, right?
Yeah, the Vesper martini.
Okay, yeah.
That's my favorite.
We have a couple of references. We have a song about that.
You do?
We have a song about Vespers.
Take 2 Vespers and call me in the morning.
Yeah, you'll have to look at us on Bandcamp. It's under my Nachi Mazg thing that I had done for a while, but now we're gonna all go back.
That sounds kind of familiar. Like, so I also don't really experiment with them anymore, and martinis and basic stuff at home. And when I used to play at bars, I would order the really complex stuff that was very, very hard to make
for your free drink,
or expensive to get all the ingredients.
Exactly. Yeah. Or one of the bars I used to play at would do this thing called the Volstead, and it had this infused maple liqueur and a blah 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 and a bunch of other shit, and they would take a piece of orange peel and light it on fire on the top and stuff like that. And it's like, this is exactly the stuff I want to order out.
I think they put the absinthe makes the heart grow fonder. No, the absinthe.
Absinthe?
Sure.
So there's this bar in Vegas we go to where they do that, that infused and all sorts of crazy stuff. And we'll usually go to a concert and then we'll go there afterwards. And we were there and we're like experimenting, interested in experimenting with some of these things. And it was kind of funny. The bartender, who was kind of the regular bartender, was waiting on us. But as soon as like the hoity-toity bartender, who was all into mixology, kind of overheard us, he totally like pushed her out of the way and was going on about all these infusions and everything, that they do there. And I don't know. It was
that's crazy shit.
And there's a martini bar too in the MGM Park. And same thing, we were there to like, it's a gin bar. And so we were like experimenting with all these, ordering all these gins that I wouldn't otherwise have access to. And and the second time we went in there, again, the regular bartender's like suggesting all these like fruity mixes, and we're just like, could you get the guy who like talks about all these gins? And I don't know.
Do you have a favorite gin that you like in martini?
Oh man, so I usually just default to Bombay Sapphire.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
But there was this one, there were a couple that we discovered at this gin bar, Nolets, and then there was this one that is purple, and I can't remember the name of it. I've got it written down somewhere, but oh my god, it's
the narrator.
It's really good. It's really good. It's a purple gin.
I think I will look for that. One of my favorite oddball ones I've had recently is this one called the Botanist.
Oh yeah, Amy. Yeah, Amy E loves that.
I'll bet you
because
it's in the name.
She's a botanist and she does appreciate a good gin. Yeah, it's really It's really smooth.
That's
I like it. It's a little bit, that's and it's also made by Brooklady Distillery in Scotland, and they're a good outfit. They make a good Scotch too.
Many years ago, one of my favorite gins was Death's Door in Wisconsin, but I don't know if it's any good anymore. I haven't tried it. I think they got more mass-produced, but I'm not sure. It was a tiny bit cloudy. It was kind of cool. I don't know. Fine.
Is the Minneapolis store still there? What was that called?
Liquor store?
Yeah, there was like this giant liquor store.
Surdyk's?
That's it.
Not to be confused with the strip club called Sir Dick's.
Yeah, they're still there.
Yeah.
I think so.
Or
Surdyk's,
Surdyk's.
yeah, they're still going strong.
Yeah, Surdyk's. I remember getting my first and last bottle of Cynar there.
Yeah, I remember you were a fan of.
I was not. I was like, oh my God.
That's.
Is that the artichoke?
What the
I
fuck?
read
Yeah.
about it. I read about it in one
I
of
know
these
when you're into
books.
cocktails,
Yeah.
you get these weird things.
And then I tried it, and I was
Is it
like, I think
cactus extract liqueur
I
or
think
something
that's
like
it.
that?
No, it was artichoke, and
It's artichoke.
I poured it down the drain, and Amy was disappointed she didn't get to try it, but I haven't been brave enough to buy another bottle.
Well, with those
Yeah, I
things,
still see that stuff. It's in at least one classic cocktail, I think.
no, I want to get some, but I don't want to buy a big bottle. I know better than that. I just want to get a little bottle.
Yeah,
but I don't.
And then all the little samplers are just the mainstream stuff, you know.
No, you're gonna have to commit, Phil.
I'm going to be coming
Or get a shot of it at a bar.
and just bring it home.
Hey, we have a really cool place here called the Tasting Library. And
Yeah?
so you get a library card and you fill it. And then you go around and they have all these stations with bottles upside down. And you stick your card in there and you fill up a shot glass. Yeah, and you get to sample all these things.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a cool idea.
It is really cool. It's owned by, this liquor store. So, I mean, if you like something, then you can go right next door and get it.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you only
Business
need
model, yeah.
for some of these cocktails that we were trying to make. It's like, the essence of blah 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 or whatever. The only thing I do now, I do make my own simple syrups. I make different kinds of simple syrups, but I just make a honey water for like a bee's knees because that seems to be a little bit easier to incorporate into a bee's knees. So I do that. But fine. What were you gonna say?
We have gotten into like infusing vodkas with stuff
Sure.
in the old fruit jar.
Well, you have a botanist in the house, so there you go.
So there's been we did this one with like cardamom that was really really
Ooh.
good. I haven't tried any like bubble gum or any of that sweet shit.
No.
Birthday
Well,
cake. Yeah.
the Phillips vodka guy is over here is a representative now in John's district, I think. But
Yeah,
Really?
he's congressman. Dean Phillips. Yeah, owner of the. They make most of the really crappy
bubblegum.
gin and vodka and stuff like that.
I'm trying to get kids to drink liquor with bubblegum, and that's why we can't vote for Dean Phillips because he's trying to get kids to drink. Little kids going down to the store and get the bubblegum vodka. Only a kid would like that. And then, they go get to vaping. And I like to vape too, but I don't get the fruity vape. It just bothers me. I don't like the fruity vapes. And I don't want the menthol. And, sorry. I got on a thing there.
Not gonna top that.
Okay, on that note. No. Here's a song. So we always put a song on. So Chris, we've mentioned several songs. Oh my God, there was that one song that you did with me. The triptych, Deadwood Triptych.
About the horse named Piss.
Well,
Left an impression.
You were just like completely improvising that. And that's what you came up with. And the horse's name was... And that was the first thing that came to you? Piss? Calamity Jane.
But even that and semen, yeah.
And then that kind of had the end there because I was like, even I was like, okay, that was what I came up with. Well, maybe you had to be there. I might have that somewhere. I suppose we could use that. Could be the song.
It's interesting.
Right.
The body of cowboy, pseudo cowboy songs.
You know, I was thinking about that too because there's even more. Because like we have Malevolent Fuck and
yeah, we did a song called "The Malevolent Fuck."
But yeah, I think we could do an album of those. I don't know.
And I keep trying to get him to recycle the Cowboy Code song that he did.
Now Chris was on that. Chris did the music
that
for
is part of that triptych thing. Yeah,
that was what I was gonna. No.
So you gave me a tape, and I vividly remember driving through eastern South Dakota. This was after we were.
Why did I do that to you?
We were moving from the Twin Cities back west, and I remember listening to it, and it's sort of ingrained. I you know how the sun sets.
Oh, weird.
That
would
you're
be a
on
good video for
I-90.
it.
And I'm listening to you saying, "Oh my God, I'm in love with a man."
More cowboy stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think it was a country song, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'll have to try to find that for you. I don't know if I'll put that on Bandcamp, but maybe. Why not? I don't care.
Hey, it tells
Who
the
gives a shit?
story of the artist. So
Wow. At some point. Fine. Well, thanks, Chris.
yeah, this was fun.
Yeah,
No,
thanks for coming on.
I had fun. Was it good for you? Oh, God, I'm in love with Chris. No, I'm kidding. Oh, he's a nice guy. He looks a little like 2011 now, but that's fine. Okay. It could be worse. Go out to one of those bars. Fine.
I'll get my library card. Yep. Good
All
night.
right, see you guys.
Here's the song.
Gophers come and gophers go. Where they come from, I don't know. From the sea or from the sky, I see gophers and I ask why. Gophers come and steal my food. All I know is they are rude. Gophers come and gophers go. Where they come from, I don't know. From the sea or from the sky, I see gophers and I ask why.